Hey there, good family. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Today, my good friend Stock Up with Larry Jones is hosting me in his studio, and we're going to go live and we're going to be talking about crypto picks of mine, new ones I'm going to share with you. We're going to take some questions from you on your crypto picks, and I'm going to be introducing you to two crypto projects that I think should absolutely be on your radar and be on your watch list. I'm happy to be joining you guys on this holiday weekend. I hope you guys are already entering into some kind of a rest, but we're also going to be focusing on making some money, and I think I've got some money-making opportunities, and I'm going to break down for you three things that I look at and measure each crypto project against. Okay, I'm going to share with you some of my philosophy in crypto trading. And of course, Larry's going to be giving some of his thoughts on the projects that we're talking about. I'm going to kick things off, Larry, real quick and talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. We talked about it yesterday, but here I'm going to use him to make an important point.
Such a saint.
The scandalous saint, Beetlejuice himself, scam, bank man, fraud. So this crypto project materialized. Now, I want you to understand the psychology of a crypto project that materialized around his name, which was, we doing production now?
Yeah, I'm go ahead. Right. I want to make sure you're good. So people
I thought we were good before we started. I thought we spent an hour doing that.
I'm doing it better.
All right. So actually, if you guys remember when I used to come to Larry's studio, we used to do this. Yeah. I would start the show and Larry would start doing cameras and lights. We're going right back to it.
Back home.
Okay, so going over, I want to share this project with you because I think we're going to learn a lesson from it. It is called SBF in Jail, right? And this thing came out of nowhere, and it was simply based on the idea that Sam Bankman-Fried has got what I would call people that might be characterized as his haters. People are upset. This guy has hurt a lot of people financially. So anything that unites people into a community of shared experiences, shared values, shared feelings has monetary power. Somebody came out with this SBF in jail token. And here's what I want you to understand. Within hours, it went up 600%, right? And it's because people immediately jumped on it, and it went up to a market cap, I believe, of around $2.5 billion. Now, here's the main point I want to have you guys understand about this. I'm not recommending you go buy this. There's no need. But I want you to understand the power of these types of meme coins, the communities and the resources that they gather, and how it is can be a financial windfall. Many people have become millionaires. Now I'm going to give you another project and we're going to compare these. I want you guys to see the difference between a community-driven meme coin that is a flash in the pan and a community-driven meme coin that might have some staying value and could potentially go higher and higher. The SBF token only lasted, let me take you into that chart real quick.
There you go, 4. Yep.
It only lasted for a pretty brief period of time. So this is just a handful of hours. So it went up to the top of these peaks was around 2.5 million. And right now we're sitting at around $199,000. So we lost a lot of value, hundreds of % of value. And the main point that I'm wanting you guys to understand is that these types of projects are often extremely short-lived. They're really dangerous. You know, this thing was 199 million, but there was really no way of knowing where it would stop. And here's another example. So we're going to take that one and we're going to compare real quick. Larry, what are your thoughts on SBF? Is that an investable project?
Well, I think you're crazy, and I think Josh is crazy. And I think no, actually. But there is money to be made if you're crazy, all right? And and Josh knows what I'm talking about. That. Here's my question. Didi asked a good question. How do you even find these before anyone else?
Okay, so I'm going to be getting into that a little bit. And so what I want you to understand, so we've got Coinbase. Now, and we're going to talk about the American and the global crypto market. I'm going to come out and answering Didi's question, I'm going to kind of give a little bit of analysis on what's going on here in the United States.
Can I add another piece to that? Josh is going to make money off this. Josh?
I'm not trading this token.
You're not trading this one?
No, I'm not trading this token.
But I have seen you trade some crazy tokens.
I have. And I'm going to get into an example of one. So we're using this as an example. and we're going to compare it to another meme project
Right.
that actually had just as a similar start to
Similar
this.
start. Yep.
But the difference between the two, we're going to compare them.
And that's my point. And I saw you make money on it.
Yes.
I saw him make money on it, right? Josh understands these meme coins, especially these extremely crazy ones. He understands it. So maybe you'll shine a light on that. And because I want to be cautious, I don't want people saying they're pumping all these crazy coins. I want you to put it in its proper context.
Well, that's what we're actually going to do.
Yes.
The reason why we're talking about SBF is not for you guys to hit the ticker and begin to buy it. We're talking about it, one, so I can show you the lifespan of it. And I'm going to talk about, to Dee Dee's question, I'm going to talk about where you get these and how that progresses and how projects grow in relevance.
You got a nice thank you there.
Thank you. Thank you. So appreciate that.
He's very patient.
Yes, we are going to be I'm going to be helping you. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a little of that today. So you've got various wallets. Each crypto project, not all of them individually, but larger the crypto project becomes, it creates essentially a hot wallet, which is something that gets stored into the browser of your computer, right? Now, this is not an exchange. It's essentially a place where transactions can be done, but they're often referred to as swaps. And very few tokens can be used on these platforms to get access to these, what we'll call early projects. And sometimes the only way that you can get access to them is to swap directly with the seller. And in other cases, they'll say, we're going to go, in this case, we're going to go to the Solana blockchain, and we're going to use the Radium wallet. Okay, so that's how they went. So these guys came up with this project. They copied some blockchain, some meme coin. I don't know what this it's a Solana meme coin. So they didn't write anything. They copied something. They created a quick website. They released it, and they said, we're going to swap it on Solana wallets, and it's going to Solana blockchain. And so you've got very limited places that you can go get it. Go ahead, Larry.
I was saying hi to Lisa J.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa J.
So now, if this project has staying power and it continues to evolve, and the community that's come around and surrounded it continues to be involved and wants more and more from the developer, funds begin to just flow in. And for the developer, this can often be a massive payday. Now, we're going to give an example of a place where this happened with a different project called Slurf. Let me share this with you guys.
Let's go to the Slurf.
We're going to go to the Slurf on this one.
Let me know if you want your computer up.
Yeah, we're going to go over here.
There we go.
Okay, so here's a project that came out recently that was really a massive crash and burn. Solana meme coin Slurf Sol recovers after 10 million token burn fiasco, and they've got this token as if it's rising from the grave.
Hit that X on the bottom there.
Yeah, don't worry about that, Larry.
Okay.
It'll just go off on this.
All right.
All right, so here's what's going on with this particular token. So this guy came out, he was going to launch a meme coin on the Solana blockchain, and what happened was a bunch of people were buying it from him in a pre-release. And the way that you burn a token, so you talk about SHIB burning a token or Doge burning tokens, what you do is you essentially send it off to an address that does not exist. So if you do that, now this is the way, Larry, that some people lose money. Mm-hmm. So they don't get their address right when they're sending crypto from Coinbase to a wallet.
Yep.
If your address is wrong and you send $10,000, unfortunately, the way this works is it just goes off into space and disappears. It's called burning it.
Or to somebody else's address.
Yes. Now, he was going to burn.
Tell them really quickly what's the safe way by sending a small amount first.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Please.
You know, and I would actually tell you that I'd love to, it's nice. I'd love to act like I'm the guru of these things, but we're all picking up and learning from each other. And, I learned this from my son, who actually was kind of the first that got into transferring crypto back and forth. And of course, you make mistakes. You send it to the wrong place and you realize, oh my goodness, where did that go? And as a general rule, and I've stuck with it, he said to me, hey, Dad, let's just send $1 over to where we want to see it go. And when it gets there, we can confirm it. Now, I have big transactions. And every once in a while, I feel like I really know what I'm doing. I've literally done this 3 times today.
Doesn't matter.
But out of a general discipline, you can make mistakes. And if you're transferring $50K, $5K, $1,000, and all of a sudden you realize that you made an oopsie,
right?
Your money's gone.
Yep.
So back to Slurf, Larry. So this guy had $10 million of USDT that was sent to him. And if I get some of the details wrong, you guys can go read it yourself. But this is what I understand of the story.
Right.
$10 million of USDT was sent to him, all right, for basically early purchase of these tokens. And instead of sending out the Slurf, which was going to be burnt, he sent out everyone's money of USDT and burnt it.
My goodness.
So a lot of people were freaking out and they were saying, you know, some people were like, you dirty rat, you rug pulled us.
Right.
You know, you've stolen all of our money. And 10 million's a lot for
That's
a
a
meme
lot.
coin. That's a decent start
lot.
because like this one, the Sam Bankman-Fried meme coin only reached a $2.5 million market cap. So this guy had done a Discord, he had done a bunch of websites. And so it appeared to the community that he had a real project that he was attempting to develop.
Right.
And yet when all of a sudden everybody was told that $10 million, all the money collected, just got accidentally burned by him, you would think that it was totally over.
Yep.
But it wasn't. Now, this is so important for you guys to follow, right? Because we're talking about the power of what makes all these meme coins interesting, right? The community is what decides that these meme coins will live or die.
Yep.
Imagine yourself in an auditorium. It used to be one guy, Caesar, who would put his thumb out and go up or down.
Yep.
Right.
You
In
die.
this case, it's the democracy, it's the community. And for some reason, people had favor on Mr. Slurf Creator. And they said, you know what? It's not over. We don't care. We're going to resend you $10 million. And this thing in hours, Larry, became larger than many blue chip big tech companies. And it went up it went up in hours, $500 million in a handful of hours, this meme coin. And since then, all of these loyal diehard people that got behind Slurf became real loyal Slurf guys. Slurf has been steadily growing. Now, the point I'm trying to make to you is that SBF token was only alive for a little bit of time. But this other community token, driven by their shared experience, his response in the moment, may be a meme coin that has a ton of life ahead of it. And no differently than Dogecoin back in the day was released by a couple young guys, and they literally said, this is a joke. But here we are, a decade later, with a billionaire, a major social media platform, and millions of us investing in their joke. Could Slurf be the next Dogecoin? Its origins and roots are in absolute chaos and silliness, but for some reason, it came back to life.
Right.
Now here's the thing. So this is the three things I want to identify for you guys, because I think that every crypto project, Larry, these are the questions that you have to answer. Because the reason why I'm explaining this to folks today is because people are saying to me, Josh, what about Jasmy? What about SPA token, right? And I'm going to give you my tools, the three questions that I look at for each and every crypto project to determine whether or not this potentially can be a winner. It has to solve these three questions, okay? First question is going to be, how does it fit into the world of regulation and compliance? Okay, which basically means, is Gary Gensler trying to throw them in jail with SBF?
Right. Or is he likely to come after this or not?
Is he likely? And right now we know that we haven't had a decent altcoin season, Larry, because a lot of these crypto projects that we love, especially the legacy coins from last year, have been determined to be securities. And they're not passing regulation. They're not in compliance just yet. Now, optimistically, I believe that things are going to get worked out, because I think you could say, well, there's the old saying that the cow's gotten out of the barn, or it's too far away from killing it or stopping it. But it's a good question. So if we're talking about Slurf, we're talking about SBF token, Dogecoin, a lot of these don't have the issue that some of the legitimate legacy coins do, because the SEC is not coming after them, because nobody used them as a means to raise capital to create anything.
Right.
They were purely a social community token. But the big question you got to ask yourself is my crypto going to go up if the SEC is trying to bring it into compliance? The second question is is what type of community is behind my crypto? Now, this one's going to be a bit more controversial. You might think, well, we've talked about, the first two cryptos we've talked about today are entirely alive because of community, or the SBF token had a very short life because of community. Now, MKMK is asking me, please speak on ADA. Now, ADA is, we're going to analyze ADA here in a minute, but I'm going to give you the third question, right? The third question is the technology itself. So these are the three pillars that every crypto's got to stand on. What exactly does it do? Is the tech any good? Is the tech old? Is there better tech? Okay. Is there a community behind this that for whatever reason, unexplainable, like Slurf, believes in it and wants to see it live? So Slurf citizens of Slurfville. And then you've got the issue of...
I can't do this, Josh. I can't do this. Go ahead, man.
Then you've got the issue of regulation and compliance. All right. So let's talk about ADA for a minute. Okay.
All right. Let's please.
So here's the deal with ADA. ADA, now I know people are going to get so mad at me, right? I know ADA like the back of my hand. My son, #1 project is ADA. For years, all we've talked about is ADA. The tech, he's diving into each engineer report that comes out weekly. Trust me, I know ADA and I know the tech, right? And I don't know it as well as my son Judah, but I know it pretty well. And here's the bottom line. The fact is that ADA is still in the last year's tech group. They're advancing, they're working on it, but they're still part of older tech. Since ADA's come out, and even since Solana's come out, and ICP and these other projects, there's new crypto projects with extremely fast tech. I've talked with you guys about some of them, SEI, SUI. We're talking about 600 million transactions versus 2,000. In the last bull cycle, ADA was boasting that it could do 2,000 transactions. The realm of transactions per second were all under 200,000. I'm not going to give the exact number. They were all under 200,000. And now we have transactions and technology that are boasting speeds in the millions per second. And so you want to take your crypto project that you've fallen in love with and you want to ask it from an open mind, not too stuck in the past. Is this the best, newest tech? How does it compare to the best and the newest tech? Because tech does matter. What type of community is surrounding it? What type of loyalty? Has it died off quickly? Has it lost interest? And I'm going to shout out Algorand, even though I know it's going to upset people. Algorand lost thousands of developers. That's part of the community, right? So if your community is shrinking and your tech is old and the SEC says that you're a security, that's what's called 3 strikes and you're probably out. So now we're going to take a minute and we're going to answer some questions, Larry. Okay.
Let me say something.
Go right ahead.
ADA. I've said this time and time again, and then we'll go right and answer some questions. The problem with ADA is the leadership of ADA. Charles is a smart man, but he is slow as molasses in the wintertime running uphill.
You heard that right.
He is, even in the way he talks and the way he processes things is absolutely slow. Now, he wants to make sure they're right, but the people that buy crypto, and especially alts like ADA, they're impatient. Me being one of them. I don't own one ADA from last cycle. You know, I was team ADA last cycle, and I got out of it because Charles moves too slow, and that's just it. And so the problem with ADA compared to something like Solana and everything is his messaging. And I said this last year, his messaging is outdated. And I'm just talking about Charles. The project, great project, but it hasn't performed. And if you look at the monthly right now, it has not performed. If you look at the yearly compared to everything else, it has underperformed. And I'm just telling you, these are me. This is what I think. And if you look at it compared to something like Solana or anything else, you'll see much more movement. Until ADA shows me that it's ready to move, I'm going to have my money in a faster moving car. And if I see ADA begin to move, then I may think of it. But
This is a
I'm out.
perfect segue, Larry. So what Larry said, first of all, I thought was spot on. But it's a perfect segue to kind of explain, well, what is the value of an ADA?
Right.
Okay. I brought up and started this show today talking about this SBF in jail token, and then advanced it to SLURF, right? And then we're talking about the rules of what makes a crypto good, and now we're kind of bridging to ADA. So a lot has to do with what type of investor you are.
Yep.
And what type of risk level you're willing to absorb. Okay, so when you're buying a project like ADA, a legacy coin, you really are buying a proven vehicle with stability, with price action stability that's more mature. And you're probably not going to mid-cycle be asking yourself, is this project even going to last? It's proven that it's going to last. The price action is relatively slow. Legacy coins have been accused of being stable coins. They will have a run.
Somebody said Charles Slurf.
Charles Slurf. LOL, good one, Angel. So the question is, nothing's wrong. I'm not dogging or clowning on ADA and the legacy coins, right?
I'm not dogging on that.
No,
I'm
you're
just
not.
saying that it moved too slow for me.
Yeah,
and so
and
for
you're
the
looking
ADA,
you're looking for higher risk at that point.
I need more high. Yeah.
Because the crypto, and if we really stop and think about it, and this is one of the things, there is no crypto hold. There is no crypto hold. Michael Saylor has, he would say, you're wrong, Josh. You only buy Bitcoin. But the fact is, why would you only buy an asset that every single cycle has gone down between 70 and 80%? And so again, if he wants to take that position, that's fine. He's exposing himself to a ton of risk, especially when we get into the winter. We don't know what's going to happen in the world even. We don't know what type of, crises might break out or changes might occur. But in my view, currently, I don't believe in the principle of investing in crypto.
Yeah.
You swing crypto. Now,
Say that again.
Yeah, you're going to, the guys that are totally on the edge who are willing to, they're called degens, right? Then typically that's short for degenerate.
Degenerate.
A true degen is someone who has a lot of tech knowledge, is invested in crypto, but doesn't have a lot of money. That's sort of the definition of a degen. Now, I'm almost a degen. The only thing that separates me is I do have a fair amount of money. So, but I would say that I've added...
rich degenerate.
Yeah, I'm a rich degenerate. That's
you.
the thing. So yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing, and I have some resources, and my risk level is high. But here's the way it works. I talked about it earlier with the SBF. Okay. You're going to have to get that on a wallet, and you're going to swap it directly on the blockchain. So you're going to take your USDT, maybe from Coinbase.
Is it too late already for SBF?
I'm not investing in it. It's too late in my mind.
Thank you. It's any of my followers. I'm telling you, it's too late. Don't do it. It's you know what's better opportunities? These are better opportunities than that. And SHIB, Doge, and PEPE are still, even with the upruns that they've are better opportunities than...
That's right. Some of these projects might live, but the fact is that if you are actually hearing about it on a YouTube video, for some projects like that, they've come and gone. And by the time somebody makes a video, the move might be over. It did go up 600%, but again, that's kind of the degen community that's sitting around watching these boards, seeing what somebody creates, jumping on it, jumping in and jumping out. If it lives for more than 24 hours, then that's a slurf, okay? Now, the next evolution from slurf to go from a hot wallet, basically, to one of these larger exchanges, not Coinbase. The reason why it's not coming to Coinbase is Coinbase says, no, thank you.
Right.
You're not developed enough. You haven't gone through our auditing process.
They can't assume the risk.
Yeah, they're not trying to introduce a bunch of Americans to a project that might have a short lifespan. So
XRP was once on Coinbase years ago and got delisted.
Correct. And I remember before it was even listed on XRP.
Yeah, before it was,
there was a hype moment when it finally came to XRP because in a way, we knew that the American audience would buy it. And it also meant to some that it had been vetted. Right. Now, personally, I think we're past the point where...
See what Brad said?
What was Brad saying? Larry likes a Porsche, not a Nosmo, but absolutely, man, got to get that fastest moving car.
That's it.
Okay, so so I think that ADA is a reasonable investment if you're wanting to get into crypto. but you're wanting to limit your risk and you don't want to spend $5, $10, $1,000 in something that moments later is going to be worth half that. The fact is that ADA has climbed slowly and it probably will go down slowly. But like everything else, we saw that it went from $3.11 all the way down to 23 cents in the winter. And so I don't know why you would want to be a long-term ADA investor.
You know what? This is a great comment by Michael Warren.
Yep. Don't overstay your welcome in meme coins.
Great comment, Michael.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm willing to look at some more crypto projects that you guys would like me to comment on. So go right ahead and throw which ones in there that you would like. I will tell you guys, I'm going to introduce you to some new crypto projects that I've not shared with you before. Now, these are not new, but these are somewhat new. One of them you can get on Coinbase, and one of them you can get on MEXC. And here's what makes them new and investable potentially right now is that their market cap. You've got to begin to look at market cap. Larry, are we in this camera right now?
We
Still?
are here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to look at market cap. That's going to be your number one indicator. That's sort of like, you know, if you want to make millions, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, you have to be into a project that has relatively not been discovered, but meets those criteria that I gave you earlier. It perhaps is not under the immediate review of the SEC. It's not in a lawsuit with the SEC right now. It's relatively new. It has a thriving community. Sometimes the community isn't going to be millions and millions of buyers, but it's going to be all the right VCs. It's going to be all, and one of the ones I'm going to bring you guys today is heavily supported by BlackRock. And you know that they can make it succeed. They can make it do what they want it to do. They can build a community around it because they've got the money to do all the marketing, all the technological development that they want it to do. And then the third criteria is the tech itself. Does it solve a problem that has not yet been solved by anyone else in the crypto space? And that's the perfect trifecta. So let me jump over here real quick to my computer. Give me a minute.
Talking about the
Larry, you talk to them and I'm going to bring them on.
So somebody's asking about the P. Diddy coin. It's the same thing as the Sam Bankman unfreed coin. These are going to see, I believe, some soon as they come out spikes.
The diddler?
Yeah, the diddler, the diddler coin. And then it's going to be gone. Listen, if he's convicted of child pornography, shame on him, that's filthy, or something like that, would you really be holding that coin as something, even if it's, you know, no one's gonna be touching that coin
Larry,
very soon.
The catchphrase is, I choose gay every time.
Oh my God. So I'm just telling you guys, it's like squirrel. You got to stay focused on your hot plays, when to buy them and when to sell them. That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, let me jump over here into the screen. Are we in here, Larry?
Yep.
Okay, so this one is Ondo Finance to move $95 million to BlackRock's tokenized fund for instant settlements for its T-bill token. The allocation marks the first example of a crypto protocol leveraging BlackRock's tokenized fund for its own offering. And here's the thing right now that I want you guys to understand. It's a New York-based crypto backed by BlackRock that focuses on tokenization. Let me see. I'm learning Larry's
pretty good.
Incredible studio with, I think there's 4 cameras, a lot more than I'm using. So
all of this stuff.
Respectable stuff, man.
Thank you.
So yes, so now we've heard it, Larry Fink say it, right? He's the head of BlackRock. These guys control more money than any other organization in the world. Yep. They control 25 to 30% of all currency of all nations. They're not just here in the United States.
Up to 10 trillion with a T.
Yeah, and of course they're in the
asset management.
That's right, and they actually value their portfolio and their management position at around 15 trillion.
Yeah,
I personally just look at the cash value underhand. But here's the thing: so these guys, Larry Fink has said that he believes in the tokenization of everything. Now, a news event behind Ondo just the other day is that they had originally attempted to tokenize the sale of one of their ETFs, but the problem with that particular ETF is it only traded during market hours, and so it wasn't working exactly as they thought. They've switched it to an ETF into a position that can be traded 24/7. So these guys don't exactly know how it works, but here's the things I want you guys to take away. BlackRock's chosen this company. BlackRock is using this particular crypto, and this thing is relatively new and has a very small market cap, and I'm going to give you guys that right now. Let's go back into the charts.
And I'm gonna leave some. They're asking about Maker, Doge, AVAX, HBAR. HBAR has been another one. If you got a little time, let's touch on HBAR because that's been commonly asked. Solana is good.
Okay. So Ondo right now is trading at about a $1 billion market cap. And I would tell you guys...
Say that again in the mic.
Ondo is trading at about a $1 billion market cap, and it had an original spike up to around $1, and it's recently pulled back. And I can tell you that if we were to get to the place under BlackRock gets done what it wants to get done, and in my view, and just my personal opinion, you know, I don't view BlackRock as negotiating with the SEC.
No, they tell the SEC what they want.
Gary Gensler, in my view, would be Larry Fink's. You know, he's his cat's paw. He's basically doing what he wants him to do. Just my personal opinion, right? Okay, and so this is going to succeed, and this is just the beginning of this type of offering. And $1 billion could be a flash in the pan. And if this thing went up to $10 billion, you're looking at a 10x. And if the market really got excited and it went up to $20 billion, you're looking at a 20, 25x, right? That's not going to happen with any of the legacy coins. This one has the community of BlackRock. Sometimes you only need to have one person at the party if you're having fun, right? So it's got a fast-growing community. It's got new tech. It's this tokenization of real-world assets. That's a theme that is really just beginning, right? So you got the right tech, you've got the right community, right? And then you've got the fact that we know that BlackRock can make the SEC do what it wants, and we're not going to see them come down on Ondo. So
that's good.
Now, real quick, go ahead.
While you're doing that, so John said this: people are just making coins and starting trading them wild. Okay, you know, there's going to be. Last cycle there was over 10,000 coins. I believe this cycle there'll be over 20,000 coins, if it's not already. Okay. There's a coin every minute. The truth be told, with these coins, a lot of these coins that are now just coming out like every day, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, there's going to be about 10% of people that make money off of those coins, and the other 90% are going to lose. It's a money grab.
Which tokens are you talking about?
A lot of these newer ones,
the
newer ones, right? Like they picked up Diddy coin to, these type of newer coins.
It doesn't take much to do that.
Exactly.
To create one of these coins.
You can create it, but I'm just telling you guys right now, 10% of the people that's going to make the money, the people that's going to make the money are the ones that launch it and put it out first, right? And then the first 10%, it is kind of like a Ponzi type of deal. And then everybody else piles in. Oh, it's a new coin today. 90% of the people will lose money, and 10% of the people are going to walk away with the money.
Absolutely. So the reason why I brought Ondo to you guys today, it fits those 3 criteria that I gave, but specifically, this is available on Coinbase. Now, I looked at the chart, and the chart is extremely bullish from my opinion. Let me see if we can jump over there real quick.
Yep.
Okay, so, you guys who follow me should have been learning some charting by this point. We've got this descending channel that broke to the upside, descending channel broke to the upside. We moved up, we had a descending channel, broke to the upside. This is a flag pattern. We have another flag pattern that's turning into a descending channel. I wonder which direction it'll go. Upside. Okay. So let me see. So, it's on Coinbase, fits the 3 criteria. The charting pattern looks good. Now, it does not go all in and buy, right? But I just want you guys to put this on your watch list. And, it's got room to the upside. 1 billion market cap, could pull back to 600 million or something like that. We could get into a pullback. We don't know what's going to happen right now with Bitcoin. But this could also run up to 10 billion in a heartbeat, especially with BlackRock's perpetual pushing of it.
Since you talked about Ondo, Brad asked another question. You remember Key and Peele? Brad, he asked, what's the buy range on Ondo?
That's a great question. I'll give it to you guys.
We got you covered,
I
Brad.
love y'all. So you're going to be looking. I'm going to begin my view of buy ranges on previous structural support, and I would say right now that's going to be between 82 and 77.
Here, show that right. Sure. Here, there. Go over that again. I want them to see that.
Okay.
Got it.
So yeah. So we're looking at previous structure support, which is right around 77 cents, to our current candle lows, which is around 80 to 84 cents. And so pretty much I would consider that the buy zone. If that were to break down, then I'd be looking beneath that. And again, I'm not, I don't go all in. I bought, how much did I buy of this? I bought $3,000 of this, and I bought it right here. No, I bought it at 64 cents. So I got it. I'm up now nicely. But I would say that if that one doesn't hold, you're looking at previous structure would be at 63, between 69. So personally, the way that I view it, Larry, is this. I'm going to buy this. If we pull back, I'm going to buy some more. The charts are bullish. What I've got's up. This is not so much a major stop loss concern for me. I probably would set it pretty low at maybe 56 cents, 57 cents. Maybe I'd bring it to my entry price. I don't know. But I'm wanting to accumulate this. I'd probably have a decent bag of this. So there you go.
What do you think about Gilly's question? I think it's
Doge seems to lead. It may be others this weekend. So yeah, if Bitcoin pulls back this weekend, I think we could have a little mini alt season, a 2 or 3 day mini alt season. Doge has been leading the way. And as I've mentioned to you guys, I've done designated videos on Dogecoin. I've told you guys that Elon has been literally preparing for the last 4 to 5 years through the winter, trying to get the X platform set up to take transactions. He has not in any way, over the course of the last 4 years, distanced himself from his love of being the Doge father. He's actually boasted it, played with it, tweeted about Doge. And so if you're just
over here now?
If you're going purely at narrative, I have no reason to believe that he couldn't play a major impact on causing Doge to break out. And it would make sense to me that the oldest coin, now you have to understand that this is the point I'm trying to make, Larry, people, because I want them to understand.
I'm going to make a bold statement.
Well, wait.
When you finish.
Yes. So the point I'm trying to make here with Dogecoin is it goes back to those 3 questions.
Right.
Dogecoin has the community.
Yes.
Dogecoin is not dealing with the SEC because it's been grandfathered in from the past.
Yes.
There's no founders. There's no VCs to chase.
Yeah.
So when you go through the 3 questions I gave you guys, the fact is Dogecoin passes all of the tests. It does what people want it to do. It's an adequate technology for transactions. It doesn't have the circulating supply that SHIB does, so it's somewhat manageable. And it would be the perfect project under the radar of the SEC to go in as on a platform. They don't want to build their own crypto because the SEC will crush them. They will, because whoever the SEC is beholding to is going to fight them. But adopting an existing popular meme coin would work and benefit both parties.
All right. I'm going to make a bold statement. I agree everything he says with Doge, and I am up rather handsomely on my Doge. I'll show that to you right now. And I'm going to say that I am the SHIB father. So I'm SHIB father, but I got another child now.
I'll be your Doge daddy.
I'm Bunk Daddy. So he'll be the SHIB father. I'm Bunk Daddy. And then I got last cycle I was the Doge Daddy, right? But I'm telling you.
You were SHIB guy last cycle.
I was SHIB last cycle. Did I say what I say?
Yeah.
I was SHIB last cycle. So I'll be SHIB. I'm SHIB's daddy, but I'm Bunk Daddy this year, right? Now, I'm saying that Bunk is going to move more, followed by SHIB, and then Doge. And I have them all. And that's what I see.
So for sure that is going to happen exactly as he's laid that down. And if you go into the bubbles, the crypto bubbles, you'll see that it's already happened.
Yep.
Bonk has already outperformed SHIB and Doge. But let's go back to our psychology, because that's the purpose of this video, giving you guys new cryptos to invest in and understanding how to make those decisions. And then I'm going to talk about MEXC, because I see people are asking me to do that. You want to understand whether or not these particular crypto projects that you're in, what is the risk factor? You got the SEC is a risk, right? Short, brief attention span from a community is risk, right? Regulation is a risk. So I would say that Bonk has not had its parabolic move yet.
That's I put my money where my mouth is.
That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for sure, the newer coins are going to outperform all the legacy coins, but you have less to lose with the legacy coins.
Yes.
So there's a lot to
They're
do
more
with your risk
stable.
balance.
They are
way more
absolutely
stable.
way more stable. And Doge has shown itself to be the most stablest of most of these memes.
It's been around longer than many of the large legacy crypto projects. It's a survivor.
And here's what I do, just for you guys. Sometimes when Bonk, or Bonk and some of the other meme coins run up 20, 30%, and I think Bitcoin is going to trade sideways, and I know they're going to cool off another 20%, then I'll sometimes move over to SHIB.
Yeah.
I mean, to Doge.
To Doge.
I'll move over to Doge because
I've done that
it's
as well.
more stable.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've done that as well.
Oh, should
People
I
are asking me
convert?
about AVAX and Polygon, and I'm
Yep.
going to just give you my quick opinion. This is where I would say they're necessary tech. So there's duplicate tech. We have multiple layer ones. One of the best new layer ones is Near Protocol, but there's the issue of having competing layer ones. AVAX and Matic solve a unique problem to crypto, and so it begins to shine in the category of the right tech for the right moment. Nobody's necessarily doing what they do better, okay? And so that's how I would view those two cryptos.
Boba,
Boba's had a nice and powerful run. I don't think the run's over. I think it'll have another push up, and I think it's a buy on the pullback. But I'd like to get, it hasn't stopped pulling back just yet. We had a nice peak. It's one of those coins, Larry, we've talked about where when I see it hit my RSI target, which typically would be the 50% mark on the daily or weekly time frame, and if it holds and doesn't break down into bear territory, now I say to myself, okay, take a chance back on Boba again, get me some more.
I have a trading range. It's simple. I just go really to the month and see what the lowest range is, and I do limit buy orders with my portfolio, and some of them have filled. And I'm happy. And then they turn around and it just comes back up. I'm not buying Boba. What is the other one? Boba, one of them brought it up. Those that were kind of late, but just spiked up really high. And then they turn around and they fall really high. They fall really far as Bitcoin moves. But I believe when Bitcoin really does hit above the 74 and get the next leg up and start closing above 72, then I believe that the latecomers like Boba will have these 35% runs spike back up. So the time to buy them is when they are down by 30%.
I've said these types of things, but I'm going to remind you guys that it's okay. We're in a win-win situation in crypto. If Bitcoin goes higher, it'll take all the alts with it. If Bitcoin comes down, it will initially bring the alts down with it, but then we'll enter into a mini alt season where the alts will begin to take off and run. Now, one of the questions that I've been getting, and I wanted to go back to something I began to break down, because one of the other points of this show is about getting projects early enough to actually make the big bucks. Because truthfully, if you had actually gotten into what I'd consider the worthless project, SBF, if you had gotten in the first hour, you could have ran up your money 600%. And I'm sure that the earliest adapters made hundreds of percent and quickly got out.
Quick, because they knew it was going to fall.
Right. To be that type of crypto degen, you're going to have to learn how to work with the various wallets that work with the different platforms. And, like Radium, and I can go through my, you got the Phantom, you've got the Nani for ADA.
Let me do a disclosure right
Go ahead.
here. Josh is not signing off or promoting any of these platforms. He's just telling you the platforms that are doing it. Anything we say is not a suggestion for you to buy or sell.
I love you all, but I ain't going to cry for you nor apologize. This is the wild, wild west, and all of these projects and platforms, there's massive risk in it. There was a moment in time in which people were attacking Coinbase, which was a publicly traded company with open books, and trying to bring it down, right? And I thought, man, we are in the winter now because nothing is going outside of the attack. They wanted to bring, Larry, they wanted to bring USDT down. They were trying to go after the stable coins.
Yes.
That's why you don't want to be holding in the winter. But here's where we're going, Larry, with this.
I want two more things, and then I'm going to stop taking because they'll have us chasing all day. I want to look at FLOKI and Bonk, but then let's look at one alt, because we should, when we do these, we should look at some more stable things. Let's look at Solana.
Okay. All right. We're going to come to that in just a minute. So let me explain the process of being a degen to maybe an investor. I don't believe there's any investing in crypto. There's just speculation.
Yep.
You start off with the wallets that I mentioned. Each blockchain has its own designated wallet, and the only way to get early projects that are built on those blockchains is to get the associated wallet to learn to transfer money from Coinbase to that wallet and swap for those tokens within that wallet. And the issue there is that this is one of the toughest spaces, and you have to have wallet management, and you've got to have a lot of knowledge and discipline, because everybody I know has had their wallet basically not broken into. They make a mistake. They click on a link they shouldn't. It gives somebody access to their wallet, and many people have lost hundreds of thousands. I was following a popular crypto guy in social media the other day that came out around 9 o'clock at night. This is a guy that I listen to all the time. I watch his TikToks, and he said, I've lost everything. My entire MetaMask wallet was cleared out. All of my NFTs are gone. And he said, I knew better. He said, I went and I clicked on the wrong link and I accepted a transaction, and then immediately things were wiped. So if you're a true crypto degen and you want to go after thousands and tens of thousands of dollars of profit, you're going to need to learn how to transfer money from Coinbase to one of these wallets and swap on the blockchain for early projects. That's the earliest stage. Now, the next stage, okay, is exchanges that bring these crypto projects from the developers at an earlier time frame than Coinbase. Coinbase is going to be the most conservative exchange, only bringing projects that have been somewhat properly vetted and go through pretty much a strong analytical view before they bring them onto the platform. But there are other exchanges like Bybit, MEXC, KuCoin, right? And they don't have the same level of scrutiny. Their position is, if you want to trade it, we'll make it available for you. They don't make everything available, but they make things available way before Coinbase ever does. Now, I provided the link to MEXC to everybody in the platform. If you want to use it, right, there's a link for that in the top pinned comment. It's the one that I use to try to get access to projects that I don't directly swap on the wallet for the blockchain. This is what I use if I want to get access to projects that have made it to an exchange and they're not a swap, it's a trade, right?
Yeah.
And now if you're going to use that in the United States, you need to have the NORD VPN. And I want to clarify something for everybody. It's not because it's illegal to use. Now, if you were to create a MEXC account and you didn't have a NORD VPN, it would say you are not given access to this site.
Yes.
It's not because it is illegal for you to buy. It is they cannot legally transact with Americans. So the SEC has said, you're not allowed to come and do business here.
Right.
Okay. So it's not to protect you that you need a NordVPN. It's to protect them so they don't get in trouble with the SEC.
Right.
That's the issue there. It's not illegal for you to go transact on these platforms. Now, the reason why we use MEXC is because a lot of the other platforms require KYC, which is know your customer, which means you've got to put your license or your passport in. Well, if you're a U.S. citizen and you show them your license, they're going to say, I can't transact with you.
Right.
So the way that some exchanges have gotten around it, and the largest exchange that doesn't require KYC is MEXC. You can get in, it's not illegal, you can trade, and you can get out. And it's the only way, like I said, you can make thousands of dollars on Coinbase. You can make tens of thousands of dollars on a platform like MEXC, and you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars taking high risk swapping directly on the wallets.
But you can also lose in that same because of the
Correct.
risk level. I think before you end, this is your show, I think everything that we talk about with these meme coins, you have to know what's going on with this question.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I want you to know I'm spending a lot of my time thinking about it. This is from Ryan Sellers. If you haven't covered this already, do you think Bitcoin will test the 80K range before or at the halving? Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, obviously, I don't know.
He and I actually spent a lot of time in the charts last night trying to see what Bitcoin was telling us. And the truth be told, we don't know. We know the halving now is the 19th or 20ish, right? So that's not
It's
too far from
close,
it. It's
people.
close,
It's close.
right?
We're getting there.
And Bitcoin could move, it could pull back before then, and this is just the truth, or it could go. It's in that area where it's difficult to tell. So the answer is yes, it could, or it could actually retreat before. The question is what's going to happen after the halving? That's the bigger question to me. What's going to happen to Bitcoin after the halving? That's going to be another discussion because that is a 30-minute discussion.
Yeah. So I'll just share a couple things that I want you guys to be thinking about in regards to Ryan's question. Bitcoin, it only needs 1 day to get to 80K, okay? And the fact is we've been moving sooner than anyone expected. And so I would not at all take it off the table that it's a realistic scenario that we would get to 80K before the halving. To be honest with you, most investors who are wanting to see Bitcoin make a parabolic move would actually like to see Bitcoin pull back some more and build a proper foundation and test a lower level of support. And then after the halving, build, and make its parabolic move.
Hey, Josh, if I have life-changing money in the crypto right now, let's say I have it in in these meme coins, I have Solana, I'm doing good. I've got Bitcoin, I'm doing good. I got Bonk and SHIB and Doge, I'm doing good. And let's say you thought Bitcoin was going to 80, right? And for the next 6 months, that was going to be the high. What would you do?
It's a good question. So I would tell you honestly that I would hold those altcoins because if Bitcoin got to 80 quickly and pulled back, it would make room for the larger alt season to run. And even though your crypto portfolio and investment would initially take probably a 10, 20, or 30% hit, the alts would reverse quicker and faster and make an unexpected move higher, right? And they would go on that run, that parabolic run that we wait all winter long to see in the new crypto projects and some of the old crypto projects. ADA, I'm going to remind you guys, I was in ADA like crazy last cycle. ADA was always the tortoise. Even after the alts ran, it ran last.
Yeah.
Okay, it ran last. Yeah. So some alts are going to run later. Not everything's going to run at the same time. But to be honest, at this moment in time, I would be very cautious about trying to swing trade. Unless you're swing trading, that's fine. You better be sitting at the computer the entire time and watching it and having your stop loss in. If you're an investor, you want to be in a position where you don't sell right before alt season, which we haven't gotten. And it's possible that we won't get the alt season on many cryptos, while Gary Gensler is still threatening in the middle of this lawsuit. So it might be a late alt season rally.
Okay, I want to be crystal clear on what I'm telling people, right? Remember, I went in twice as heavy in the beginning than I plan on being right now, right? If I thought Bitcoin was going to 80, which I do, then when it gets to 78 and it starts to show signs that it's going to hit resistance at 79 or 80, then I am going to take that opportunity because the alts will move greatly from where they are now. I'm going to take that position to do some profit taking, right? And then if it does pull back, then I'm going to go back in where it pulls back at with half of my alts, simply because I went in early with twice as much. So I'm limiting my risk. And I'm just telling people, most people didn't do that. But I'm telling people what my thing is, because they'll come back here and they'll say, well, you told us to hold. I'm telling you guys what I'm doing, and I am constant on that.
The biggest mistake, and I think that's good wisdom, Larry, the biggest mistake that I see a lot of retail crypto traders, especially ones that are not degen, you say, I'm not a degen. I don't know all these things. If you say you do not know all the things I'm talking about, it means you're probably a retail trader. And as a retail trader, the fact is that the biggest concern you're going to have is to sell into fear and to buy into joy of crypto's rising. So you tend to buy the top and you tend to sell the bottom. And so I'd just be cautious about that. We haven't had an altcoin season. And I think that in 2024 and 2025, in that time frame, we're going to get an altcoin season, and you're going to know it when you're in it. And whether you're on Coinbase and MEXC, or whether you're getting some of these early projects, things are going to take off, and left and right, you're going to be hearing about winners. So just think about that.
These are two, and I'm going to deal with BitBoy because he's just been jabbing lately. All right, Brad, I agree with Brad. If we pass 80K, especially just before or just after the halving, I believe we're clearly going to 100. Clearly, I see a clear path. Right?
Correct. I would agree with you.
So, Brad, you're a smart cookie, man.
Brad's on it.
Brad is on it. Yep. Now, Josh, I can be a little rough at times, but you go ahead and deal with this.
Well, BitBoy, I don't really know how to take this. I mean, I tend to give people a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that maybe they're not trying to be, rude.
That's what I said. That's why you're answering. You're graceful.
So
because this is not the first crack he's made.
Larry and Josh probably trade on a business account while you on a retail account. They aren't affected by short-term capital gains. Remember that. And I think that the point is valid. That if you guys are going in and out of transactions, you are creating taxable events. If you're on Coinbase, MEXC does not report to the U.S. government because you are not a U.S. citizen.
I have a lot on Coinbase. I have to pay taxes on it. When I hit that $250,000 on just Shiba Inu alone and 380-something thousand on my crypto wins, I paid taxes on it. Even though there were some accountants saying, hey, you just put it in a separate account. Government's trying to figure this out. I'm going back to 2021, right? I said, listen, I don't want no beefs with the government. I'd rather deal with El Chapo than the government. I said, let's pay the taxes. And then if they owe me, I paid the taxes. So that's inaccurate. I don't know about Josh, but that's inaccurate for me. We got to pay taxes too.
Yeah. Well, so what I think he's saying is basically if people are doing a lot of trading, they're going to end up with more taxable events. Now you're saying that you do a lot of trading and you're okay with it. Absolutely.
I'm saying
Absolutely.
So do
if
I.
we take BitBoy at the idea of him and trying to encourage everybody, yes, there is tax savings. If you want to open up a Coinbase account as an LLC, you can actually avoid some of that.
Do you know, I can tell you this right now, and Josh, I think I know a little more about this than you do. It's close to impossible to open up a trading account as an LLC. The requirements are through the roof. And my LLC and all of the influencers I know, our trading accounts are not under an LLC. It is because everyone will be doing it. I checked into it. The criteria that the government puts on you to trade under an LLC is extremely high, and you have to take certain tests to be qualified, and the verification is insane.
And I'm not advising anybody to not pay their taxes. Yeah. I am just I'll make this comment. Pull it down a little bit, Larry, so I can see that last comment. I'm not advising anybody not to pay their taxes. I am simply commenting that money on MEXC is not reported to the government. That's what I'm saying.
Because of the way it is. You guys
because you're not a U.S. citizen.
You're not a U.S.
They have no
citizen.
obligation to report it.
Exactly.
All right.
And they can't track it because of the what?
The VPN.
Exactly.
Let's go back to that one, Larry.
Which one? The highlighted one?
Yeah. Terrell Cephas, thank you for your super chat.
Let me borrow some of that hair, bro.
That's good. So what about Tectonic, Dogelon, Mars, and will Shiba eat 2 or 3 zeros? No. Nope. My view on SHIB is that it's a more mature meme coin, and I think as Larry's saying, my expectation would be for it to eat 0.
1 0.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be one of them early, because I got in early. You guys got to remember, in September, October, and November of last year, when this was between 5 zeros 8 and 5 zeros 9, I was begging you all to buy it. And so if we drop 2 zeros, think about what type of gain that is for me and the money that I probably put in there. So
I was begging you to buy it at the zeros in a 7, remember?
yeah, we've talked. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. You did a video on that.
I did a video on it.
Well, I actually think, Larry, we might cut it off there.
Yes.
We did a recap, guys. 3 dynamics of a crypto. You want to consider, where is it at with regulation? Where is it at with its community, and what is the tech like? Is it newer or older tech? And you want to understand that as far as getting into crypto projects and making tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, not all that can be done on Coinbase.
Right.
So just be aware of that.
And I would just say in closing, don't put all your money in memes. That I'm just telling you guys, because a lot of people, just like last season, try to get rich. And I understand it's life-changing money.
Trying to get rich, Larry, at the wrong time. Late to the party.
Late and at the top. And Josh and I talk about this all the time. We don't want our audiences to fall into that. Now, at some point, and I've been saying crypto is swing, 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 but at some point, I'm going to have Bitcoin that I'm never selling. And and even I am trying to figure out when is that time, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm going to be playing with the house's money very soon here. And so at some point, even if Bitcoin falls by 50%, I'm still not going to lose.
You're going to walk away from the side of the room with the swing traders and go stand over by Michael Saylor?
That's exactly what I'm,
Me and Michael Saylor, friends.
But he's joking, but that's exactly what I'm
sure.
going to do, because at some point, one Bitcoin is going to be $250,000. At some point, one Bitcoin is going to be $500,000. At some point, one Bitcoin is going to be $1 million, right? But once that horse get out of the barn and it starts to really run, it's hard to catch.
And most people won't ever even attempt to catch it.
That's true.
That's if that plays out the way that we would like to see it play out. And so far, nothing is broken in the crypto narrative. Guys, I hope this was helpful to you. Don't forget to put Ondo on your watch list. Keep an eye on that one. I like what the smart money likes. It's got community. It's got relevant tech under real world assets, emerging technology. Larry says that everything will be tokenized. Your Tesla stock will be tokenized.
Rich Larry, not me.
Yeah, we're not talking Larry Jones. We're talking Larry Fink, the head of BlackRock.
10 trillion.
Yeah, $10 trillion.
Hey, can I ask you something before you? Good people. Where are you with subscribers?
We're going to get to 100,000, but we are only at about 95,000.
95,000. Good people. Man.
You think some people would watch this video and not subscribe, Larry?
I don't understand why people will watch this and not subscribe. I just don't get it, man. Josh does the hearts. I thank you guys for the coffee cups. Let's get some coffee cups and some hearts going. And listen, good people.
95.4.
95.4. Why y'all got them sounding like a radio station? 95.4, the love train. Listen, let's get this brother to 100,000. I'm going to end by saying this. I'm going to end by saying this. I have looked far and wide. CNBC, Fox Business, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg Report. Every single time they bring their charting expert, and I look at their success rate, they are still not as good as Josh. Let's continue to show Josh some love and get him to 100,000 so we can have this party.
Thank you, Tyler Toten, who's been here since we had 15,000 subscribers. Thank you, Danny G, Jan. I love you guys. Hey, I appreciate this time. Thank you, Larry, for sharing your studio with me and doing this show. You guys all have a wonderful Easter weekend.
Talk about your links.
I'm going to be. I'm going to just talk about my number one link.
There you go.
That's Jesus Christ.
Come on, man.
I'm going into this Easter weekend, celebrating it with my good friend Larry Jones.
Yep.
My wife's making a meal we called lomo. I don't know if you have any Peruvians out there know what that lomo is.
I call it awomo.
Lomo. I want some lomo. And I'm going to be celebrating Jesus Christ, and it's the reason why I say peace and blessings to you guys. That's from my heart. Love you all.
Jesus
Hope we can
love.
make some money in this crypto bull run. I've got another crypto pick that I had hoped to bring in today. I know people are going to be mad at me for not sharing it, but I'm going to bring it in my next video. And I'm telling you, I bought a big bag of this the other day, and It's doing really well, just like Ondo is. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe, as Larry said. Peace and blessings.
Love you guys. Peace.